he can. Why do you think he, no? Why do you think he called glitch trap? Why do you think he called glitch trap? He can
Messed up.
corrupt
Messed
anything
up,
electronic.
guys. Ooh, I messed up, guys.
Oh yeah.
Whew,
Oh
okay.
what? Security breach?
So, no, I did
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just see Spider-Man No Way Home. I actually saw it
It's actually
like
good.
days ago.
I checked it out.
So, this is me
Yeah.
giving my personal thoughts on what I
I beat
thought
it in like
about it.
3 days.
What my personal thoughts on what I thought about
Foxy's not
Spider-Man
good
No
at
Way
that
Home.
game.
Short answer, this may be one of the best Spider-Man movies, Marvel movies that I have ever
Where's the emote? Where's the emote?
seen. Just wanted to issue out
There it is.
spoiler alert. Um
Now
I
I blend in.
tried to talk about this movie
It's a
about
fun game, yeah.
without spoilers, but I just gave up.
Uh,
So I'm warning you now. Spoilers in this review. It's not
now
really a
I'm hidden.
full on review. It's just me giving my thoughts on
Don't
what I
fuck
thought
up the
about it,
thing.
which is pretty much nothing but great stuff about this movie.
I am.
So, if you're not really familiar with my channel, then let me tell you right off the bat, my favorite
That's our OG
superhero
video.
of all time has to be
Where's
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Batman is somewhere in
No.
second place, but Spider-Man is all in all my favorite superhero of all time.
Oh my god, Brutus's minigun. That's
So
insane.
obviously, when Spider-Man entered the MCU, I was so hyped. I thought Tom Holland was fantastic, but for a while, I can
Ooh,
understand why
traps.
people
Neo knows how
were
to
saying that Tom Holland
No, I
was
heard it.
not
Yeah.
really the Spider-Man, and it made sense. He's supposed to be Peter Parker is supposed to be like a super genius, but in the MCU, there are times where he can go from fanboy to just stupid, and I really didn't want him to be stupid. Like remember in Spider-Man Homecoming when he saw those masked guys, he thought they were the Avengers. Yeah, that was just him just being particularly stupid, and that kind of sucked because in the trailer it showed that Spider-Man all right off the bat knew that these weren't the Avengers. So in the movie, I'm pretty sure it was kind of obvious that these weren't the Avengers because a a the Hulk gives it away, and B, why would the Avengers be robbing a bank, especially Iron Man? Why would Iron Man have to rob a bank? He's like a billionaire. And then Spider-Man Far From Home happened, and it was just
no.
chock full of emotions, just from Peter Parker trying to cope with the death of Tony Stark. The first part of Avengers Endgame. I mean, Avengers of Extinction has successfully been.
Mine is amazing.
I'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, but when I watched Spider-Man Far From Home and the ending came, I was ecstatic. I was hyped. And I was wondering what was going to happen now that everyone knew Peter Parker Peter Parker's identity was revealed to the world. And then I saw what happened, and it was amazing. It was spectacular. Sensational, if you will. Since we're basically putting out all the names that he's been given, why not just put sensational on there? So the entirety of the movie was actually pretty good. I really liked the characters. I liked how Peter Parker was maturing more, and it was everything that Peter Parker is about in not only the comics but in the cartoons and basically all the movies, even Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. It basically, like in the trailer, Green Goblin basically said, "You are literally struggling to do what's right for the world, but to do what's right for yourself." It it finally gives us the Peter Parker that we needed in the MCU. Tom Holland delivered on this acting, but it's not only Tom Holland. I'll get to that in a bit.
Why is he on his phone?
Now, let's get to the big thing that everyone was hyped for
Crap.
when the trailer came out. The Sinister freaking Six. Well, 7 for a little while before Otto betrayed them. Spoilers. I told you there were going to be spoilers.
Why is Neo?
All of the actors from past Spider-Man movies have returned. You had what's his name?
A while.
God, I forgot who that.
I don't know.
I forgot who Otto Octavius's actor was, but he returns.
Or no, not the
God,
whole thing. Like it,
William Dafoe returns as Green Goblin. Jamie Foxx as Electro with a brand new design. It's like people were saying, you had the right guy, you just had the wrong design. Why did you have to make it blue?
Rare.
Like, who did that? The Ultimate Spider-Man comics did
Stop
that.
third partying.
But yeah, the people, they just had the wrong design. And who else was in there? For some reason, yeah. I guess Spider-Man No Way Home just hated Norman Osborn because he's not in the MCU, and he died in like both Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So that's pretty much the reason why they weren't in there, because they're both dead.
I know, actually, stop saying it.
But everyone was hyped up. Everyone was so excited. I was excited. And I really loved the fight between Peter Parker and Otto, especially when it got to the part where Dr. Octopus was all like, "You're not my Peter Parker. My Peter's Toby." Speaking of which, let me talk about a part that isn't really given enough attention, but it was given attention to me, and that is Matthew Murdock, Daredevil. I think his name is Jeremy Cox. He returns as freaking Matthew Murdock. Daredevil makes his appearance in the MCU. It was so awesome. And it was only for one scene. Like, that's one of the things that I didn't like. How Daredevil was unfortunately for one scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's another problem with another character, that Venom. I'll just get to Venom right off the bat. I didn't really like how they did Venom in this. Now, as we all know, in Venom Let There Be Carnage, it was teased that Venom was going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home and join the Sinister Six. Surprise, he's barely in the movie. He's not even in the movie. The only time that we see him is in the post-credit scene, and he's only there to just disappear like all the other multiverse people. So yeah, so basically the end credit for Venom Let There Be Carnage was completely pointless, and it sucks because Tom Hardy is is great as Eddie Brock. I really wanted to know how they were going to do Venom in this, but Venom was barely given any screen time, and it particularly sucked.
Yeah, it says not enough ammo.
But of course,
no, you have to let me hit you now.
I can't talk about Spider-Man No Way Home without talking about the biggest thing ever.
No, Neo, you have to
Tobey
let me get
Maguire
Okay.
and
where?
Andrew freaking Garfield return as their respective Spider-Man, giving us the 3 Spider-Man multiversal crossover. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
people were expecting this, but when it happened, it was so awesome. I loved Andrew Garfield in this. Andrew Garfield was pretty. I know Ned was supposed to be.
Oh, dang it.
I know Ned was supposed to be like the comic relief
See, Neo,
of the
you
film,
ruined the fun of this
but I'm
game.
sorry, Andrew Garfield was the comic relief of the film. Everything
I hate you.
about him was just so comic relief, and this might just be me. Maybe it's the person that I am, but I caught a little bit of Thor in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, because if you haven't seen Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I gave you a quick refresher. Gwen Stacy died at the end of it after Harry Osborn died at the hands of Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy soon died afterwards. So basically, Andrew Garfield has a little bit of Ned in him, but a little bit of Thor from Avengers Endgame. Because while he is kind of the comic relief, he is still in a state of depression because after what happened to Gwen Stacy. And when he saved MJ later on in the film, you could tell how he kind of blames himself for Gwen Stacy's death.
What the heck?
And he's like really happy that another Spider-Man will have to go through what he went through. Though earlier in the movie, that's something that he couldn't have saved and not really something that an Aunt May has in store for them. I'll touch on that in a bit. And Tobey Maguire, man. Tobey Maguire was excellent in this. He was fantastic. While Andrew was playing like the washed up Spider-Man, put in a state of depression, Tobey Maguire, he was pretty much like a mentor to not only Tom Holland, but also to Andrew Garfield. Especially when they had that
I have 2 mythics.
that really funny conversation. And when Andrew was all like, "Man, you guys fought aliens. I'm lame. I only fought a guy in a rhino suit and my best friend." And Tobey Maguire was like, "Hold on. Why did you call yourself lame? Like you are not lame. You are amazing. You are the amazing Spider-Man. Come on, say it about yourself. You're the amazing Spider-Man." He was just awesome. And when he was talking about Uncle Ben, that just nostalgia, man. He was just excellent. He was definitely playing that mentor to Tom Holland's Peter Parker. And you know what's funny? What I found funny is that with Tony Stark and Doctor Strange, they were both like mentors to Tom Holland's Peter Parker, but he like never listens to them. But for some reason, when Tobey Maguire took on that role of mentor, Tom Holland was like, "Okay, I'm fully gonna listen to you." Like, how does that work? How did that work, man? Anyway, yeah, Tobey Maguire was just excellent in this. And there was a moment where I really thought that he was gonna kick the bucket. I really thought that Willem Dafoe like messed up. Like, no, not Toby. But thankfully, he survived, but his back is severely injured again. Which he made pretty clear that is a constant problem that he's been facing ever since Spider-Man 3. Like, he was all like, "Oh man, my back is hurting." Even after the battle, Andrew was all like, "You're in great pain, are you?" And Toby was all like, "Yes." Thank you for acknowledging. But of course, I can't talk about all this all this excitement, nostalgia, and excitement,
Neo,
it
you're already
sadly
done, so
came with two prices.
you're already
The first price, of course,
Neo, you're literally the
the
dog's
death
daughter.
of Aunt May. I just get so emotional, even just by talking about it.
No,
It
I
was
meant to go
still so emotional. And going into this, I knew that someone was going to die. I knew that it was either Aunt May, it was either MJ, it was either Ned.
I need
Heck,
to put it in R.
I thought Peter himself was going to get it because Aaron Freshinash, he made a song about it before I watched it, and
Oh, yes, good AR.
there was a part where Spider-Man
Guys,
was like,
AR.
"I can save everybody," and I had a feeling that it was kind of referring to Aunt May or MJ or Ned. But after a while, I was kind of thinking that it is that referring to himself? Is is that why he's saying he can't save everybody? Is that everybody himself? Is that who he's referring to? But no, sadly, it turned out it was Aunt
Oh, it is 7
May.
o'clock.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people were expecting this. And I was kind of expecting this as well. Like I said, I knew someone was going to die. But just like with Tony Stark, I never for a second thought that it would be Aunt May. Especially with her actor,
Oh, you
man.
suck, Neo. You actually suck.
Oh, it was. Oh. Oh, it was so emotional. It's not only her death, but the way Tom Holland delivers it. Tom Holland was just perfect in this. He was delivering in this acting. His emotional moment in Homecoming, him fading away in Infinity War, his pain watching Tony Stark die, and now his deliverance on when Aunt May died. He was like, "Oh, I just couldn't."
I am way better than you, Neo.
And that was only in the first half. And that was only in the middle of Endgame. I mean, No Way Home. No Way Home is basically Endgame. I'll get on that in a bit, which is why the title is called I Messed Up. Anyway, it also came with another cost. At the end of everything, Doctor Strange announces that there's going to be a multiversal war and he can't stop it. But Peter, in the most selfless way, offers a sacrifice.
I one-pumped you. What do you mean?
He offers the world to not only forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but to forget the entire world, including Happy, Doctor Strange, Ned, and MJ.
No,
all of them.
He
offers them all to forget who Peter Parker is.
I hate you. What do you mean?
And I was immediately crying inside. No, I just wanted to jump in the screen and just give Spider-Man a big hug like he did with the 3 Spider-Man. It was so emotional. It was so emotional. But then again, so selfless on Peter's half. And there was a moment when you think that he's going to tell them. He's going to tell them everything. When the spell has been cast, you believe that he's going to tell them everything. But he doesn't. Instead, he decides to get some coffee and just leave MJ and Ned to their lives. Even though, but only Peter remembers what he's been through, what they've been through together. But to them, things have always been this way. They've never known Peter. And just that talk with him and Happy.
No, it's just that you have to quit the game.
I
It's
have a
actually
feeling that
No, Mio, touch grass. Actually,
Happy
touch grass.
will know who Peter is. And I have a feeling that Doctor Strange is going to know who he is,
For one thing,
because
like touch grass.
Doctor Strange it's Doctor Strange. He's the Sorcerer Supreme, so obviously he can make himself remember who
Mio,
Peter
literally,
Parker
touch
is.
grass, please.
That way, when Peter says,
No,
"Hey, Strange,"
I will not.
or maybe Peter just might not,
Mio,
just might act
actually touch grass.
that he doesn't know who Doctor Strange is. He might have to go through the motion that he doesn't know who Doctor Strange is, but that could be like the opening for maybe, or the post-credit scene for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where Doctor Strange makes himself remember who Peter Parker is. He goes to check on Peter Parker, but Peter is acting like, "Oh, no, wait, I don't know you." But Doctor Strange's all like, "Yeah, you do. I remember you, Peter Parker." And Spider-Man's all like, "Okay, yeah, I remember you. I was just acting." But it was just so selfless on Peter's behalf, and it was like really emotional and really aggravating to watch. But it was a great way, and was kind of made me feel bad for Peter, because
Mio,
now
you're-
he has
you
to
really
rely
demeaning.
on himself.
Actually, go
Well,
touch
it is a
grass.
good thing
Go
he's
get
now
your
alone
girlfriend.
in a
Don't
world that
actually live
doesn't
your
really
life.
know who he is. But then again, he knows them in his heart. He keeps them in his heart, and
Touch grass.
and
Mio.
he'll have to just go through being a
Like,
hero
actually touch grass.
without any help. And that is
Touch
just
grass, Mio.
that just solidifies who Spider-Man is. That Tom Holland
Oh,
brings
yeah, sure,
everything of what I loved about Spider-Man,
Sure.
and just made him even better of a character.
Oh, this lose.
And I really think I just wanted to give a huge
Why do you
shout
have
out
the
to
same
Tom
face
Holland. I
every day?
really thank him for doing that for everyone. And I'm really excited for what Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has in store. Like I said, I really want there to be a post-credit scene where Doctor
Okay, yeah,
Strange
sure, Mio.
reveals that he knows who Peter Parker is,
Mio, actually.
and he goes to Peter and is like, "Hey, Peter," and Peter's all like, "I don't know you. Who are you?"
I can
And then so and so, it goes into that. It could even lead into like another Avengers movie.
You ruin the fun. I'm blocking you.
That is if
I'm joking,
in
I'm
Black
joking.
Panther 2 we get
You actually
like the new recast of Black Panther after Chadwick
Oh, please
Boseman's
go. Yes,
tragic
thank you.
passing.
Thank you.
Or maybe even Shuri might take on the mantle of Black Panther. But anyway,
Oh, it's probably you.
now
Take a shower, Mio.
here is my personal
Filthy,
thought.
filthy boy.
Please do not
No, I really
try to
would.
kill me, guys. Spider-Man No Way Home
Yes.
is better
No.
than
No, she
Avengers
fought me last time,
Endgame.
now she has to fight you.
I know. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
She-
But it
no,
is.
Yeah, she fought me last time.
I'm
now she has to
sorry,
fight you.
guys. I'm sorry. I love Avengers Endgame. It was a really great movie. But Spider-Man No Way Home was better. It's Spider-Man, man. I know Spider-Man's in. I know Spider-Man's
Oh,
in.
okay.
I know Spider-Man's in Avengers Endgame,
yeah,
but
very.
I'm sorry. Spider-Man No Way Home is better than Avengers Endgame. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I messed up. You should have seen it in the title. I messed up.
Just
I'm
block
sorry,
out.
okay? I'm sorry.
Very, very bad.
Ugh. And I can literally ask my brother. He literally said the same thing.
No.
But
No, I didn't mean
but
that.
he's
I didn't mean to
occupied.
do
But
that.
take it from me.
I was
I'm
like,
pretty
that's
sure
crazy.
some will agree with me, some won't. I know there's plenty of people
How dare you.
who won't agree with me. and I'm okay with that. I understand. I understand why you think Avengers Endgame is better than
dare you.
Spider-Man No Way Home. I understand. Have you seen that movie? It is epic. But I understand. But hopefully, if
No,
you've
how
seen
dare you.
Spider-Man No Way Home, hopefully you can see my point of view. But I know you won't.
Oh
My
God,
parents
trust me,
don't
this is
even.
okay.
My parents don't even. And they like Spider-Man. My mother likes Spider-Man, but even my mother is trying to argue with the fact that Avengers Endgame is more better than Spider-Man No Way Home. And I see her point. I see her point. I really do. But Spider-Man No Way Home was just better. I'm sorry. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were in the freaking film. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
How's that flicking, yo?
Ugh. I know there's going to be a raid in the comments.
looking,
There's
yo?
going to be a
Leo, how's that
freaking
look?
raid. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Neo, touch grass. Get a girlfriend.
I'm freaking ready for it, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, so those were
No,
my
don't do that.
personal opinions on Spider-Man No Way Home, basically the new Avengers Endgame. And I honestly, at first when Avengers Endgame came out, I immediately, right off the bat, was all like, there's no way any MCU movie is going to top Avengers Endgame. And then No Way Home happens, and I was all like, screw it. It tops Avengers Endgame. And I see no other Spider-Man movie topping
Leo, that's not cool.
Spider-Man No Way Home. I say that, but then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to come out. And have you seen and something that I find really weird is that people are asking themselves, should they watch DC Legion of Super Pets or Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? And in what world is that a freaking question? Have you seen the first Spider-Verse? That probably is the best Spider-Man movie, period. If I was given two tickets to see each of those movies, I'm sorry. I'm watching Across the Spider-Verse twice. But since it's part one, I'm really ecstatic to see what they do. And I have a feeling that the good guys aren't going to win in Across the Spider-Verse. I have a feeling. But then again, part two could lead to some interesting occasions, like, say, I don't know, maybe MCU Spider-Man meeting the animated Miles Morales. I'm just saying, just throwing it out. It's just a possibility.
Neo, sweat, Neo, sweat.
But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to post literally another video. So thank you guys for watching this live stream. Bye, guys.
Neo, you're